What's going on, everyone? I'm SITKA Ambassador Chris Bee, and I've been wearing SITKA gear for, man, it feels like the last 10 some years. Been bow hunting my entire life, and we're here in Iowa, and we live and breathe whitetails, but we travel all around as soon as pretty much September 1 starts, chasing whitetails all over the U.S. So with this new cover launch, this really does fill a void in our camo patterns whenever we go south and we go east and we're hunting in that thick, dense timber, dark timber. And I've actually been able to play around with this a good bit, see it in environments, and I very quickly was sold on it as soon as you see it in the environment that it was 100% designed for. So kind of diving into, we're going to be diving in our early season and mid-season system setups and kind of what I like. But before that, just kind of talking about Optifade as a whole, kind of the thoughts behind it and the science behind it. SITKA has put in a lot of work and working with actual professionals when it comes to deer. I know they did a really big study down in Georgia with deer farms and labs and color science and pattern science, and essentially, as my term that I like to explain, I talk about all this and hear about all this big science stuff, and then I kind of translate it through my own lens. Is all of this science, all it's trying to do is break up the body outline or the body form to help conceal you more. And I can really relate with this because as a big whitetail guy, that's all we try to do. You know, if it is a blind, if it is a tree stand, you're always trying to break up movement, try to break up your body form. Like if you're hanging a tree stand, you never want to be skylit, or you always want to have back cover. You always want to have more branches. You always want to, you know, in a blind, you have coverings, you have blending. So having a camo pattern that from the beginning is not only trying to blend in, but also trying to break up the overall outline of the body is huge. I know talking to old school guys and even like really before camo guys, sometimes they would mix match clothing or have light on the bottom and dark on top just to break up the overall human outline, because humans are danger to animals, and as much as you can either blend in or make it not seem like you're a human outline, the better. So this continuation of Optifade with the new cover, I'm super pumped about because it was a hole that was needed to be filled and now is filled. So I'm super pumped about that. But what we're going to do, we kind of have my favorites when it comes to early season and mid-season as far as SITKA, and kind of my philosophy when it comes to gear and SITKA, especially working with them over the last 10 years, is there's pieces kind of always come and go, but you always have your foundational pieces. And like a couple of these have been running for several years now with really me not wanting to change anything because it works. But you always have your base, and you always have the ones that kind of come and go as weather gets colder, or gets hotter, or gets wetter. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to kind of run through these starting for early, and I always like kind of run through the calendar. So think of that September 1, either your early season Kentucky or early season North Dakota. I'm going to North Dakota earlier on in September. That type of hunt. And then maybe even, you know, some turkey stuff as we talk about this. But first up is our Equinox Guard line. This really has taken off and was launched during our turkey, but man, it is such a diverse piece. Starting with just the overall fabric and the weight of it. It's super lightweight pair of pants, and it is built-in insect repellent. There's actually permethrin built into the threads, caked into the threads, that lasts for a very long time. On top of that, as far as insect repellent, is actually the mechanical insect repellent part is these built-in gaiters. So it's really awesome to tuck these into your boots, tuck these into your socks, and there's no way for bugs, for ticks, or anything like that to get up into your legs and all that jazz. The worst thing is you go hiking around early season through some tall grass and you come back and you got a bunch of ticks everywhere. So I wear these all the time, even on the farm in the summertime, just to help with ticks and all that jazz. We have heat dumping pockets is what I like to call them. So little heat vents that you can zip up and down just to be more breathable. There's one on the other side here too with a little mesh on the inside. We have our custom our standard knife pockets. We have like extra knife support for carrying around a knife, basic pockets, and just such a good overall pant. I have a few of these in a couple different camos and a couple different solids, and man, I just use them all the time. To pair with the Equinox pants is the Equinox Guard Hoodie, lightweight hoodie, extremely lightweight. I've worn this quite a bit, and we also have our insect guard on this, so our permethrin, but also on top of that, kind of more of the mechanical insect repellent, is these fibers are incredibly tight woven, so pesky mosquitoes are very hard to actually penetrate through this. So we got quarter zip, we got a side pocket, we got a hood, and we got our face mask. Extremely lightweight. I wear this thing all the time when hunting, or not even when hunting, just lifestyle type stuff. So this pairs really well with the Equinox pants. Up next, this has been a kind of a staple for SITKA gear, is our Lightweight Core Hoodie. It is available in the new cover lineup. I have a pile of these in a bunch of different colors. They're great for a layering system, so if you just want a lightweight hoodie to, you know, driving into the stand to wear, and then you throw on something bigger over it. Really, everyone should have one of these, I feel like. Okay, so we're still in that early season, early September, but we get a little cold snap. Maybe in the afternoons, as soon as the sun dips, it gets pretty chilly, and chilly for the walkout. So my go-to, that's been my go-to for a very long time, is our Ambient Hoodie. So the Ambient Hoodie, since it has come out, I think has been a fan favorite by a lot of folks, including myself. This, I feel like, is always in my arsenal. But it's essentially what it is. It's a hoodie. It's a very high performance hoodie. It's an active installation is how SITKA calls it, because it is true. Even though this is warm, you can be way more active in this. Hiking into the stand, getting up the stand, you sweat, but it's breathable. So this is a fantastic piece to keep in your backpack, and then for those little cold snaps or whatever else, you can throw it on. So this I have had in my arsenal for all the way from mountain goats to turkey to lifestyle. It is such an overall workhorse. So obviously, when it comes to early season whitetails, you really don't need a lot. You're typically wearing one layer, and the biggest thing is heat and insects. So with the Equinox Guard, that really does cover your basis with maybe one little warm layer. On top of that, we have gloves. So Equinox Guard Gloves, again, insect repellent, all the same features as the pants and the hoodies. Really nice light pair of gloves that I end up wearing quite later into the season, if that makes sense, because it's just a good pair of lightweight gloves, really great to shoot with a release, either a trigger or a handheld. So those are really awesome too. Next is our mid-season, so late September all the way through, I'd like to say middle October, maybe even later October, depending if you're down south or in the east. We got those 40 degrees, it starts dipping down into 40 degrees, and you need a little bit of extra warmth, and maybe we even get into a little bit of rain. What we're going to do is the Equinox Guard Pant is, I still will have this in my lineup for that time of year. So especially for walks in, I like to layer, my first heavy layer is on top, but maybe we have a super lightweight base layer underneath these just to kind of help with those little chillier moments. But then we really start getting into our Stratus line. So Stratus is probably the most overall, if you could only get one thing that'll do a really good job kind of for everything, it's our Stratus line. So this is the Stratus pant. I'm more of a bib guy, which I'll show you here in a second, but Stratus pant, extremely quiet. We kind of have a very soft layer on it, but it's also really warm. It's a great shell layer. You can layer underneath it. Some features for this, we got really good cargo pockets. We got our knife reinforcement. We got great pockets. We got a belt. A really good overall pant when it comes to whitetails for your do-it-all pant. It's for sure your Stratus pant. But like I said, I'm kind of a bib guy myself when I switch over gears and it starts getting a little cold. So we do have that right here. Stratus bibs. And I'm a bib guy for a couple of reasons. One, when it does get a little bit colder, you get a little bit more warmth up into your mid-section. Just because of bibs, obviously, they come up a little bit higher, and especially these, you maintain your warmth in your layer all the way up to your midsection. Next, which is the main difference, I think, between the bibs and the pants, is your boot. I'm not quite sure what maybe these are even called. I'm not sure if they have a name, but I guess like the best way to put your boots on is you slip the zipper all the way up after you put your bibs on. You can slip in your rubber boots, zip all the way back down. Makes it really easy, really fast to undress in camp, to dress in camp, and that's probably between the added warmth of the Stratus and being able to put your boots on way easier. Those are my two favorite features on it. Very similar to the pants. We got our side pockets, cargo pockets, but especially with the bibs, I'm more comfortable running down maybe even into the 30 degrees and into November with these, because you can layer with it. You got more warmth into your midsection. Like I said kind of at the beginning, it's all about layering. So even though your early season pieces as a standalone are great, we still kind of can wear them as the season goes on. So we don't want to overlook, our Equinox Guard hoodie and our lightweight hoodie, because you can still throw that on as a base layer. Use the hood, use the little bit of insulation that it has, and having a hood on your base layer I kind of do like, because it's not super bulky, but it kind of gives you that concealment. And we got our Ambient, but we also have an upgraded Ambient, a little bit warmer, Ambient 200. So this is a jacket, it doesn't have a hood on it, but it's great for an insulation piece along with just an outer shell piece. It's a little thicker, it's a little warmer, and this one, it's a full zip without a hood, and it's just incredibly warm. I mean, this is like your go into a little warm cocoon into the tree stand feeling wearing this jacket. So this comes into play kind of in your mid-October cold snap. Maybe you have this and then a lightweight hoodie underneath it for the little hood, mainly for the concealment, not necessarily for the warmth. And you're pretty much ready to rip for that. Vests. Vests are probably also one of the most diverse pieces, because you can layer with them. You can wear them kind of as a standalone with a lightweight layer right underneath them. And that's what we have here, is the Stratus vest. I wear this quite a bit, especially in those October kind of in-between moments, like you're not sure if you're warm and you're not sure if you're cold moments, if you guys know what I mean. But the Stratus system. So I will also say, I think I forgot this feature, Stratus has wind stopper in it. That is probably one of the best features that SITKA offers, especially to us whitetail hunters, because the wind cuts through you like nothing else. So with this vest, there's wind stopper with the bibs, with the pants, and what we'll get to next is the jacket. They all have wind stopper. So on those cold fronts, north wind, 50 mile-an-hour in the face, even though it's a medium layer, that wind stopper is going to help incredibly well. Okay, next is the Stratus jacket. Again, your do-it-all piece. You have a Stratus jacket and you have Stratus bibs. You can pretty much rock from early October all the way through to the end of November with a little bit of layering. But another workhorse, wind stopper, incredibly warm. It's been around forever, standard zip. We've got a couple side pockets. We do have a hood that is removable, along with, this is kind of underrated, but this safety system. So of course, going in a tree stand, you always want to wear a safety harness, but they're kind of a pain. So when it comes to layering, this safety system is magnetic and it has a little button and slide. It's incredibly easy to take jackets on, put jackets on, but always remain with your safety harness on. That's so important. Standard jackets or whatever else, you get up in the tree and then you got to layer. A lot of times it's not super safe, but you got to take your safety harness off, put your jacket on, and then put your harness back on. But with this, it's super quick and easy with the magnets and the quick little latch system. Okay, so now we'll kind of get into like an honorable mention, something that you probably always should have around in your truck, and when inclement weather comes around in your backpack, is rain jacket. So this is the dew point system. It is the lightest compactable rain jacket that SITKA has. And I wear this from, hunts in Alaska, whitetail hunts, out western hunts, but it's best for me for whitetails because it's so small. It's maybe some days you go out and you sit in the rain all day, or an afternoon sit or a morning sit, but this is kind of like, it's just a little squall coming, I'm going to throw it on quick and then throw it right back in my backpack, is how I view this. But we have dew point jacket, 2-point pants. We got side zips on the pants all the way up to put your boots on, take it off. You can slip them right over your clothes that you have on in your tree stand. I've done it before. It is for sure doable. So I keep these close by and for sure have them in my backpack when it comes time for some inclement weather. Okay, next is kind of our honorable mentions, I guess you could say, our extra accessories that are kind of must-haves when it comes to whitetail hunting. This is the tool bucket. This is one out of 2 backpacks that I'll always kind of carry around. It's this or the Fanatic pack. The Fanatic pack is if I just have a couple things and I just want to get in super light, but the tool bucket is a little bit more than that. It's kind of designed and set up so for the whitetail hunter, but when you get up in the tree, you hang it from this top grommet, and then you can see I open this up and it is like a full buffet of all the gear that you need. So we got a ton of pockets all the way up here, up and down, and mesh so you can kind of visually see it. We got a ton of organization, straps on the inside. We got like water bottle pockets on the inside, and then on the bottom inside we have this little divider that kind of splits the bottom right in half. So you're able to keep some things in this front little section and then kind of your bulk of things in this back section. We also have a couple zipper pockets in the front here, and I will say this is magnetic, so it's kind of nice. It won't be flapping in the wind. Side pockets, we got a side mesh and then a bigger non-mesh pocket. So bow hooks, like long bow hooks, tree steps, stuff like that you gotta get to quick without opening up your backpack. That's great for there. We also have that same thing on the other side. A couple straps, you know, if we're filming or camera gear. I love putting like the camera arm into these pockets, strap it down, and we're pretty much good to go. Coming around to the front, our front straps, we got a bunch of padding on the front, which is really nice. We got a little tiny pocket in the front, which is great for like a wind checker, or honestly, you could probably even jam a little grunt tube or something in there. Adjustable straps, we got the front chest strap to go over the front, a lot of padding on the bottom. And then we have, on the very bottom, a couple straps right here, which is great for an extra jacket, extra clothing, stuff like that, to put on the bottom that really doesn't get in the way of the rest of it. And then, of course, what is really important when getting into the stand is having something to do with your bow. If you put on a bow rope, or a lot of times I like putting it on my backpack, strapping it to my backpack, and then climbing up. So we do have these straps right here that come around. You can put your bow on, super easy like that. So that is a tool bucket, a great mid-size backpack for kind of your average bow hunter, and I love running it. Flash optics harness, also available in the cover lineup. A great small technical vinyl harness designed obviously for your minimal bow hunter. Everything's super tight, rangefinder super tight, built-in little strap here so that you don't lose it and dump it out of the tree stand. Everything's magnetic, kind of stays down magnetic. The main latch is magnetic, but it does come around and latch. Couple little side pockets here. Kind of got a molly system if you wanted to put another rangefinder type pouch on the other side. But the biggest feature of this is how easy this back strap system is to get on. On this side we have the latch system that just pops and slides off, and then your whole vinyl harness is just straight up open. The easiest way is you just put it on just like a backpack, or like you would a backpack. Make sure the strap is straight, put it on, and then we got this orange strap, and I think this little latch is orange so that you can see it in the dark, is what I like to think. Then you just clip it right on. That's it, you're in. Then when you want to take it off, just pop that, pop this off. So easy, quiet, especially when it comes to layering. You got to take this off every now and again to put jackets on. So great system, flash optics harness, available in cover. And last in our gear dump is our bow carrying system, and it's so important to protect your strings, your D-loop, your peep sight, traveling in and out of stands, brush and stuff. So, and having this, if you want to get up into the tree stand or a blind with it, is huge. So I always like putting something over my strings if I know that it's going to be a good haul, like on an e-bike or something like that, just to help protect the bow. So this is kind of was my early season, mid-season dump with the all new cover. I'm super excited about it, And it's always so confusing and overwhelming sometimes if you have too many options. So it's great doing these videos to kind of help show what my favorites are. I kind of have my foundational pieces and then just kind of massage them and move them around. And it's really good. What I have found is you find your good pieces that are kind of good for everything, that are kind of your staple, your main pieces, like the Ambient jackets, the Equinox pants, stuff like that, where you can kind of use them for multiple things. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and good luck this fall. We'll see you in the next one.